Hello and welcome to RPG Research and our Saturday Game Masters workshops. You can learn more at gnworkshops.com or just go to rpgresearch.com. Today we are doing the baseline game for one of our newer volunteer Game Master trainees, Shane Dean. Welcome, Shane.
Hello, thank you.
So, I'm Hawk Robinson, president and founder of RPG Research. I am the disembodied voice because apparently that camera didn't want to come on, but I'm not going to worry about it. Nobody needs to see my ugly mug anyway. I see too much of it as it is. But also here at the table to my right, this disembodied person. Here, there we go.
I'm Riley. I'm a player type specialist.
I'm Daniel Ivey. I am a volunteer and artist and GM trainee and other, etc.
Yep. And John can't make it due to car problems, and we haven't heard back from Danielle what's going on with her, nor from Anna, or a whole slew of others. I need to really remind people about this. And we might be moving these, at some point we may move these workshops to Sunday, depending upon what happens with our other community program schedule. We'll see, I'm making that flexible. But you guys need to know that I also have Tolkien Society on the 3rd Saturday each month, so I'll have to leave partway through to go run the Tolkien, to go set up and run the Tolkien Society out of my living room. We'll be streaming 2 streams somehow. I think that one's just going to be on YouTube, on our Tolkien Society YouTube channels, because we can't be on 2 Twitch streams simultaneously. So anyway, that's what's going on. So, Shane, this is your own homebrew setting. You're using D&D 5th edition with your brand new fancy schmancy bundled thing that your kids gave you, which was very kind of them.
Once again, thank my sons for that.
Take it away, Shane.
All right, so this is actually a 5e reboot for a campaign that I did long, long ago, the title of which is In Service of Duke Sebastian. I'll just grab something else here.
Or some paper.
Okay. Pardon me. All right, so before we get really wound up here, I know this is not technically part of the game, but one of the things that I've always liked to do and is used really well in is it AIM that uses the Fellowship focus?
The Tor.
Tor, sorry.
And we have to house rule it over.
Yeah, and for those of you who may be new, not sure, Tor stands for the One Ring, a very cool Middle-earth role-playing game.
They're both from Cubicle 7.
But yeah, both from Cubicle 7, thank you. So before we get rolling, if you guys could maybe pick a reason why you guys are friends, and as I read through this here, you probably come up with a good reason why, you guys are connected, especially being such diverse types of characters here. And just to round things out, I'm also going to be using 2 of the pre-gens I have as NPCs, since we've only got 3 players. One is Gidron of Eldath. She is a life cleric, half-orc.
Are we going to be using miniatures at all?
Maybe a little bit, but...
So, Riley, would you put that camera, the overhead camera, down? Let's click it for some reason. It's on screen so you can see what it is.
And then the other one is Billion Quicktoes. He is a Lightfoot halfling rogue. And so there's that there. So, In Service of Duke Sebastian. 5 years ago, Duke Sebastian Abundo ascended when his brother Matthias was crowned prince upon the death of their father Rigoberto. Since becoming Duke, Sebastian has worked very hard to foster open relations with all nations within the Council of Princes. Trade has boomed, and many races have flocked to the Duchy of Alcero to do business, to learn about each other, and in general has helped improve relations throughout the Council nations. Sebastian has also financed many paramilitary companies to go into the wild, unsettled areas near the Duchy and clear out the monsters and bandits that inhabit such places. Your party is employed by one such company, with Major Gustavo Beltran at the head. The majority of these companies are headed by actual officers loyal to the Duchy, and Beltran is such a one. He is somewhat strict about order and discipline while on a mission, but he knows that most under him are not regular soldiers and lets them cut loose when not on duty, provided they are able to function when the muster call goes out. Last night, it was announced that the Duke had an important mission that he needed to send the best troop available and would be taking interviews in the morning. While you and your friends were excited about the possibilities, Beltran had a muster that night and handpicked who he wanted to interview with him. None of you were chosen. After the muster broke ranks, your party decided to get up very early in the morning and sneak to the head of the line before others woke and try to get an interview with the Duke. It was a long shot, but the Duke is known for his generosity, and those who complete his missions... for those who complete his mission, sorry. And your group decided you wanted a larger share of the spoils than Beltran was giving after missions. Unfortunately, just about every other able-bodied trooper had the same ideas with their friends. Even though you arrived 2 hours before sunrise, the line was already winding around the gate of the Ducal Palace. You were already up and in line, so you decided to try anyway and hope for the best. And that is where our scene opens. So, oh boy. If you guys have your buddy plans, if you want to let me know how...
should we maybe each of us go around and introduce our characters?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Keep forgetting that part. So, yeah, if we go around and you guys could introduce your characters first.
I am a Priroda Zena. I am a tiefling druid, but I study astronomy, and I'm adding this astrology.
Absolutely.
I'd like to know what your characters' names are, when their birth years.
We do the numerology and everything else, too.
I've actually already figured that this is very fortuitous. My character was, and I rolled this randomly, born on the first day of the first month. So I feel like because I came in with a new year, I bring a lot of promise. And what is your name, sir?
Well, I was raised by orcs. It's a long story, but they like to call me Mr. Fist.
Mr. Fist.
I prefer to go by Passa. I think you guys should be able to call me Passa as well.
Passa.
Passa.
And when were you born?
How do I determine this?
Roll the d12.
Okay.
That's the month.
Yeah, I understand that part.
The second.
How fortuitous.
The second month. And roll a d20.
Third day.
We're assuming normal cycles here. Not...
Oh, yeah.
Not for the reason
This world that I have created is basically an Earth parallel. Things just moved around.
Okay. So I find it very that I should be I should meet you, and I was born on the first day of the first month, and you were born on the second month, and the third day.
Yeah.
I wonder if my next friend over here will continue the trend.
You're looking at me, are you?
Yes.
Oh.
What is your name?
What isn't a name, really? But you can call me Valeria.
Many things.
You can call me Valeria.
How do you spell that?
Barsta, dara, nuda, dara, spoda, dira, dora. Oh, you mean in your tongue?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
WYLINDRIA.
I throw some bones on the ground. And I'm trying to decipher them.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
You've got a very interesting name. I'm trying to figure out if there's any importance attached to it. And what year were you born? What month were you born? Yeah.
Roll D12.
D12.
Unless you have a reason for it to be any specific.
No, this is fun. This is cool.
The 9th month.
The 9th month. Mm-hmm.
You need more than that?
Yes, I'd like the day that you were born. D20.
The 22nd day.
22nd day? I don't like these signs. You will have a lot of misfortune ahead of you. Or roll more.
Okay, just so people know, that's player knowledge, not character knowledge. About this player.
You point at the camera even though it's not on.
What's that?
You pointed at the camera even though it's not on.
Just so people know. That's player knowledge,
Not this guy.
Character knowledge.
This guy is going to be rolling low.
I like the disembodied hand thing, actually. That kind of works. Dr. Hand.
All right.
Okay, so
You'd appreciate that.
for those who are here, the disembodied voice. My name is Willindria. We're in Hylox. My village was very close to a sacred grove of druids. I snuck out to see them one night, but was caught watching them. By their laws, I must become one of them or die. I choose to join. While other gnomes were learning how to build and invent things, I learned how to use the gifts nature provides. I was also taken in by the order of nature guardians, learning how to harness my body as a weapon. I now roam the wide world to learn more of nature in other places and to discover threats of the old ways. Is that threats of or threats to?
That's supposed to be threats too.
Okay. Because I don't know the context, so okay. I have brown eyes, lightly tanned skin, short cropped blonde hair, and it says age 60. Do I look 60?
No, gnomes.
The gnome age.
Gnomes
thing,
have a-
So what's my apparent age? Like 20?
Yeah. Very young and bubbly and slightly foolish.
Oh, I'm supposed to be.
No, she's fairly serious overall, but if you look at her goals, one of her ideals is she wants to punch a giant in the nose before she dies.
Oh, okay, so she's got a sense of humor even if she actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was she taken in by my druid circle?
No, you guys are from actually different continents.
Okay.
What about our NPCs?
Oh, yes, and I will get to those guys next.
What can you tell me about Iliama, since I idolize Iliama?
Just a very ancient hero of your order. You could probably...
Famous for...
What's that?
Famous for...
He was known for jumping into the middle of a battle singly and coming out ahead. Very self-sacrificing, very strong, very dedicated. Probably would have made a very good disciple of Cord, actually. That's a little bit of Heroes of the Mist mentioned there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And then we have Gidron of Eldath. As I mentioned, a half-orc cleric. I was found on the steps of the Temple of Eldath by the High Priestess. She put me in care of Olvadan, a senior priest and head of the infirmary. He raised me in the path of Eldath, holding all life sacred and precious. He also taught me to heal as he did. When he passed away, the High Priestess sent me to learn of the world and spread Eldath's blessings, to help and heal all who I am able. And just a quick description. Brown eyes, grayish skin like most half-orcs, and her hair's long and black in a braid straight back. She appears about 20, 5'9" and weighs about 180. And then your last companion.
Before we go on,
Yes. Go ahead, Dan.
her birth year and birthday.
She was born in the 2nd month on the 12th day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then your last companion. My name is Billion Quick Toes. Bit of a rogue. Lightfoot halfling male. He looks to be 20-ish. 3 foot tall, about 35 pounds. Brown eyes and a ruddy complexion and short cropped black hair. My village was attacked by brigands when I was away foraging. When I returned, all had been slain, except one who was slipping fast. All he could tell me was the band was led by a half-orc and a drow. I left my home, later coming upon another village to settle in. They took pity on me and took me in as one of their own. A month later, I saw the brigands once more, coming towards the village I now called home. I ran as fast as I could and warned the residents. We quickly formed somewhat of an ambush. While we fought bravely, many in the village were lost. But we managed to kill many of the brigands as well. They fled, and the village called me a hero for warning them. Now I hunt the half-orc and the drow. I have been associated with several thieves' guilds and have learned their ways. However, I take more thieves' lives than I do coin, and I only take from bad folks. There is a legend in the streets of someone called Bloody Fletcher that has thieves on the edge. Some have insinuated that that might be me. And also, as an aside note, he and Walindria go way back. She's always trying to cheer him up because he is probably the most unhappy halfling in the entire world. Makes Moisha look cheerful.
By the way, what's the birth month and day?
The 8th month on the 13th day.
Ooh. Add importance there.
13th month.
There is no 13th month.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be bad luck if you were born on the 13th month. So, have you guys decided what holds you together?
Me? Fate. Or at least what I believe. Fate?
Nice.
So who represents fate in this group to you?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Riley.
Yes. So when you ask what holds us together,
If you were to pick a fellowship focus from this group, who do you think you would be most likely to feel an attachment or comradeship with?
Priroda.
Okay.
Sounds like I already have my fellowship focus as this other halfling.
Oh, yeah.
Billion.
What was the name again?
Billion, Billian, Quick Toes.
And actually, considering that I rolled bad portents for you, I'm concerned about you. I'm going to have you as my fellowship focus.
Okay, that's fine.
Sounds good.
I'm not trusting of strangers, so I'll be...
Well, so just like I mentioned in the backstory, you guys have
You did, man. Okay, we're not sure.
you guys have worked together a little bit.
Okay.
You're part of the group under Major Beltran, so you guys have built a bit of trust. You know, you've been on a couple missions together, so you're familiar with each other, and even
He's
with
just strange
oh,
because of his numerology, astrology.
well,
What
That
do you mean
part.
strange?
and being a tiefling.
That wasn't in character voice.
Okay.
Okay, so
What's that here?
you guys are just kind of talking, chatting, you know,
Voices again.
The heavens, they speak to me.
considering what it is that the Duke would so suddenly summon people. Because normally,
Well, I hope it's an opportunity to take on a giant. I really want to Punch a giant.
I roll some bones on the ground.
Does you fast?
Would you quit making that mess on the floor?
You pick them up.
So, you know, days kind of drag on a little bit. The line is moving very slowly, and you guys are concerned that you might not even get into the Ducal Palace before the sun sets.
Not again.
Have faith. I've foreseen that we will get there just on time.
And
For whatever it is we need.
while you guys are
Fate will
chatting,
open its way.
this man, he kind of bumps right into the middle of you guys.
I check all my belongings.
Very lowborn clothing, and he says, "Oh, forgive me." And then he stops and he makes eye contact with each and every one of you.
I'm checking all my belongings to make sure nothing got pickpocketed.
Everyone, roll an intelligence check, please. Or I'm sorry, let's make it a history check.
Okay, different change.
22.
Well,
That's 7
All right.
for 7.
Okay.
so you recognize this man as the Duke. And then he kind of makes a signal to not make a big scene. And he moves in a little bit closer to all of you. And then he says that he needs you all to meet him at the Fat Ox Inn near the Merchant's Gate in 1 hour and bring whatever you need to leave immediately thereafter. Desperately needs your help and reward very well for assistance. I should be doing this in a voice, I'm sorry. Let me back that up. Forgive me for my secrecy, my friends. I desperately need your assistance, and this must be done with the utmost discretion. Please meet me at the Fat Fox Inn near the Merchant's Gate in 1 hour. Bring whatever you need to leave immediately. And again, I must stress this must be handled with the utmost discretion. I hope I can rely on you as I have relied on you in the past. Then he disappears.
Before he goes,
Oh.
can I burn a bit of sage and smudge him?
I suppose if you want to.
I give him the nod and
He's trying to act like he's a nobody here. And then he scurries off like the lowborn person he's trying to imitate and disappears.
I figured it looked natural for me because I was like, oh, she's being weird again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna pause. We'll be right back and we'll see if we can get that to come back.
We'll be right